Hello and welcome to Dream It to Educator. And today we are going to study about Roundtable Conference 1 and remaining things. Okay, so we have studied about the Congress in 1928, then 29, what happened all that time. In 1930, we studied about the civil disobedience movement. Now, and how the Congress was not ready to participate in Roundtable Conference 1, but still Roundtable Conference 1 happened and we are going to study about that. Roundtable Conference happened without Congress. Okay, two important points. B.R. Ambedkar, at that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar demanded that separate electorates for depressed class people is a need and that we should have. Similarly, Tej Bahadur Sapru moved an idea of an all India federation supported by Muslim League. Muslim League also supported that. Now, principality states also supported this one condition, that their internal sovereignty should be maintained. They are ready for all India federation. Muslim League is ready. So, and the person who moved the resolution is known as Tej Bahadur Sapru, and it is on first roundtable conference. But first roundtable conference was a failure because the majority of the ideals, the people, things were under international congress and they did not participate. Now next point is Gandhiji and Lord Irwin made a pact known as Delhi Pact in 1931, and according to this pact Gandhiji put forward certain demands and told that if these demands are agreed upon, then we shall consider participating in next roundtable conference. So Gandhi's demands, there were many demands and some of them were fulfilled but some were not. So the fulfilled demands we will study. That is, release political prisoners who worked in non-violent manner, remission of fines that are not collected, return of unsold land to third parties, lenient treatment towards the resigned government servants during the civil disobedience movement. Then salt making should be allowed for self-consumption. Okay, right for to peaceful and non-aggressive picketing should be there. Withdrawal of emergency ordinances should be there, and all these things were accepted by the Britishers. But the not accepted things were, one is public inquiry to police excesses, not accepted. Similarly, commutation of Bhagat Singh and his comrades' death sentence to life sentence. So the death sentence were awarded for the district assembly bombing case that we have studied in the last lecture. Commutation of Bhagat Singh and his comrades' death sentence was asked by Gandhiji, but it was not granted. But finally, Gandhiji did a compromise, and Gandhi agreed to participate in the next roundtable conference. Okay, and to suspend the civil disobedience movement. And the roundtable conference 2, Congress participated, but from Congress only one member was there, that was Gandhiji. Gandhiji participated, and these were the important discussions in the second roundtable conferences. Okay, so first point, two Muslim major provinces should be there, that is Northwestern Frontier Province and Sindh should be two Muslim major provinces. Next one, setting up of an Indian Consultative Commission to be set up. The three expert committees should be there, that is finance, franchise, states. Finance, money, franchise regarding voting, and states. And this the most important one is communal award was awarded by Ramsay MacDonald Awards. It is also called Ramsay MacDonald Awards. According to communal awards, the demand of the Dr. Ambedkar for is depressed classes, a communal electorate or the separate electorate for depressed classes was said okay by the Ramsar MacDonald Awards or Kamala Award in the round table conference too. But Gandhiji was not fond of this idea. Okay, so we will study further. So next viceroy was Lord Willingdon. Okay, at the time of Lord Willingdon, Pune Pact was signed. Pune Pact. So what was Pune Pact? It was signed in 1932. Okay, that is Gandhiji went on a fast. I told the reason because Gandhiji was not fond of the idea of the separate electorate for depressed classes. He thought that it would further divide the Hindu community also. Even now, the different communities like Muslims, Sikhs, all were divided due to this thing of separate electorates. So this will further divide Hindu community also into depressed classes and non-depressed classes. So Gandhi went on a fast, but finally Ambedkar have to agree, and Pune Pact was signed in the Yerawada jail. Okay. So the two important key points to take away from this Pune Pact was: one, it abandoned separate electorates for depressed classes. It abandoned separate electorates for depressed classes, and something was given by Gandhiji, suggested by Gandhiji also, that is, the reservations could be increased. That is, in case of provinces, from 71 seats, reserved seats, the seats will be increased to almost double this, 147 seats it will be increased. Similarly, in the central legislature, 18% of the total seats will be reserved for depressed classes. So, hence, the Pune Pact was signed. But actually, second roundtable conference was a failure, and just after the failure, Congress working committee started developing. That to be understood. Then in December 29, 1931, further civil disobedience movement started again, resumed, and in just 10 days, okay, 60,000 activists were made into jail, were jailed. And then second phase of the civil disobedience movement continued till 1934 only. Gradually it waned also. Officially it was suspended by May 1933. Gandhiji withdrew from active politics and left International Congress also after this. Next one is Roundtable Conference 3, that was happened in 1932. In here, not much things were achieved, that we must understand. Then another important session, if the Bombay session, okay, Bombay session of the Congress, presided by Rajendra Prasad, and in that session only, Congress Socialist Party was formed. Okay. Then coming to Government of India Act. Government of India Act actually did not came into force, but it was an act formulated on the basis of the roundtable conferences, the Simon Commission, its recommendations, everything. Okay. So it is actually a bit good things were there in this act, but this never came into force, right? Okay. So All India Federation was agreed upon. Then bicameral legislature will be given at the center. Okay, bicameral legislature will be given at the center. Then provincial autonomy will be given. Autonomy to the provinces will be given. The separation of powers, that is, 3 lists were given: federal list, provincial list, and concurrent list. A similar type of thing is also followed in our constitution also, in the center state relations. In some article it is there, I think it's 256 and 258, I think. In that there is schedule 7 in our constitution, that 3 lists were separated, and out of that different union can in union list can legislate in union list, state can legislate in state list, and both can in concurrent list. But okay, so that is polity. We are not going in detail into that, all that. Then center, in center, reserved and transport categories were given. That is, diarchy was given to center. Actually, it was given to province in 1919 Act. Now, in center only, diarchy was given. Now, next point is provincial legislature to be direct. Okay, in provinces, directly elected members will be there. Okay. Then in 1936, that is a session. It's an important session because it is a session in village. According to Mahatma Gandhi, the India resides in village, and village-based economy was the what Gandhiji always wanted. So the first session in village, but after a long time, after 1885, after a long time, 1936 only, first session in village happened for International Congress, and it was in Faizpur, and Jawaharlal Nehru was the president of that. Then Lindith is coming. Lindith Go. Okay, in 1939, in Second World War participation. Okay, the 1939 Second World War started, and Britishers wanted Indians to participate, and the British, without asking the consent of Indian leaders or Indian people, just declared that India will support for war without consulting Indian opinion. They told India will support for war, but Congress rejected. Congress told that there are 2 conditions. One is, afterwards, Constituent Assembly should be here. First point. Second, immediately some form of genuine responsible government to be established in the center. some sort of responsible government should be there, and after war, Constituent Assembly should be there. But it was rejected by Viceroy. Okay. But in case of in this aspect, different opinions were there for Gandhiji, Subhash Chandra Bose, Jawaharlal Nehru. Gandhiji thought about giving unconditional support. Subhash Chandra Bose thought of snatching the freedom from Britishers in this tough time, and Jawaharlal Nehru, different opinions were there. Okay, that we must understand. Now Subhash Chandra Bose is coming in the picture. Now from here we will study Subhash Chandra Bose also in a bit more deeper way, alongside with our other topics. In 1939, the Tripuri session of the Congress was there. 1939, Subhash Chandra Bose was actually elected, but Patami Sitaramaiah, who was the representative of Mahatma Gandhiji, lost election. But in this, Subhash Chandra Bose actually resigned. Next one is another important thing that happened in 1939 itself. That is 1939, and another important thing that happened, that is CWC, that is Congress Working Committee resolution was passed in Varda, in which Congress ministries resigned in all 7 provinces of on 2nd December 1913. Actually, why is this happening? Is because of the earlier issue, that is British rejected the demands of the Congress. So, Congress ministries resigned in all the 7 provinces on 22nd December 1939. And this to be understood, that is Muslim League on this day, that is 1939, 22nd December 1939, celebrated this day actually. Told like it's the deliverance day, they told. Okay, that we must understand. Now, in 1939, again one more thing happened. We studied about in 1939 itself, Tripuri Congress, Subhash Chandra Bose resigned, and Subhash Chandra Bose started a new that is organization, that is All India Forward Bloc was established. So 3 things happened in 1939 that we must understand. One is the election Tripuri session. Next one, Deliverance Day, and final one is All India Forward Bloc was established. All this happened at the time of Lindithgov Viceroy. Now, in 1940, we will study 2 things. That first one, in the mainstream, what happened in 1940 is an August offer. Now, the ball is in our court. That we must understand that ball is in our court. That because now Britishers are in need, they need Indian help in army, so they were giving so much of offers at this point of time, so that they could have Indians to participate in war. So August offer 1940 happened. That is, the offer was a representative Indian body would be framed after the war to frame Constitution for India. For Constitution for India, after the war, a representative Indian body would be formed, and dominion status was objective for India. Okay, dominion status was objective for India. This dominion status was already criticized even from 1928 itself. From Nehru report itself, even in 1931 there is no change. In 1940 also, after 10 years there is no chance of a dominion, we know that. Then the Viceroy's Executive Council would be expanded right away to include for the first time more Indian settlements. So in the Viceroy's Executive Council, more Indians would be there than whites. That is another important. Then defense, finance and home portfolios were to remain with the British, because defense should be with the British because they want to fight. So defense, finance and home portfolios were to remain with the British. Advisory War Council was to be established. All those things are we just have to read it. Then assurances given to minorities, no transfer of power would take place without giving proper consideration to minorities. Okay, but International Congress rejected this offer, and League also rejected. The Indian International Congress needed complete freedom, no dominion, nothing. Okay, they are okay with the first proposal, that is the representative Indian body would be formed after the war to frame the Constitution of India, but dominion status was objective for India. That they did not like, and they told they wanted complete freedom, but League needed partition of the country. So with Lahore Declaration, it was made clear by the League that League needed partition of the country. That happened 22nd to 24th March 1940. Okay, League needed partition of the country. At the same time, in 1940, another thing was happening. Subhash Chandra Bose was arrested for protests in Calcutta for removal of monument memorizing black hole of Calcutta. So the monument memorized black hole of Calcutta was removed, and Subhash Chandra Bose was arrested for protest in this. Okay. Next, he was released from and was when he was sent to jail. And in the prison, he done a hunger strike, and he was released from the jail and was kept in house arrest. Then he escaped in 1941. So this also happened in Bharat at the same time. Okay. Next, in 1940 session of the Congress that was happened in Ramgarh, and Abdul Kalam Azad was its president. Here what happened? A resolution of individual satyagraha was passed. That is, Mahatma Gandhi told about or started individual satyagraha to affirm right to free speech. Demand was for satyagraha was freedom of speech against war should be granted, and for that a march was Delhi was conducted, that is named as Delhi Chalo movement. Okay, Delhi Chalo movement. And first three satyagrahis were Vinoba Bhave, Nehru, and Brahmadatta. All were joined and doing satyagraha. Individual satyagraha they were doing for what they are doing for freedom of speech against war. Okay. Now Cripps mission is coming again. Another after August of 1940, again Cripps mission is coming for giving some proposals. Okay. And in the Cripps mission 1942, I am just stating some important proposals, not all. One is Indian dominion, again Indian dominion with freedom to remain with the British Commonwealth or secede from it. Okay, Indian dominion with the freedom to remain in British Commonwealth or secede from it. Constituent Assembly, elected by provincial assemblies and nominated by the princes to be given. Any province unwilling to join India's dominion could form a separate union and will have a separate constitution plus. So different other aspects were also there, but it also failed because one is dominion. We don't need dominion. Next one is nomination by princely states. This is not real. They needed, or the Congress needed election from princely states. Next one, right to secede should not be there. That was their argument. And finally, no immediate transfer of power was there. And because of all that reasons, it also was failed. So Cripps mission, which came in 1942 under the leadership of Lord Stafford Cripps also, Stafford Cripps, I think it's the name. Please check about that. Okay. 1942 also failed. Next thing happening is but even then Muslim League agreed. Okay, but Muslim League agreed. One first is single India Union, they did not agree. Another one important thing is machinery for creation of Constituent Assembly. It was not as per their wish. Okay, so these two were the negative sides pointed out by Muslim League. Or else Muslim League agreed for the Cripps mission. Gandhiji, but made a very remarkable sentence in the context of Cripps mission. That is, it is a post-dated check upon a crashing bank. The crashing bank is British because of all the war and that it is crashing, and we are given a post-dated check. That is, it will be given dominant status will be given after. So that is the concept behind Gandhi's state. Now finally 9/8/1942, what happened was Quit India movement. So what happened? Quit India movement. All India Congress Committee in Bombay, August 8, 1942, started Quit India resolution. Like All India Congress Committee in Bombay, August 8, 1942, Quit India resolution was passed. And it began in 9th August 1942. Do or die was a slogan. Another slogan was Quit India, Bharat Chodo, Do or die. All those were important slogans given by Mahatma Gandhi. Muslim League had a new slogan. It is divide and quit. First divide and then quit. Then parallel governments started being set up in Balia, Tumbluk, Satara, etc. Chief area of movement was in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Midnapur, Karnataka, and lasted till 1944. Okay. The same time, 1942, International Army was, or also the Hindu Fauj was established under the leadership of Captain Mohan Singh. Okay. And in the similar time, what Subhash Chandra Bose was doing was he began radio broadcast from Berlin at this time, and we said about his escape from the home arrest in 1941. Then he was traveling throughout the different nations. Okay, he wanted to meet Hitler. Then he was planning for an army for and finally fighting British with the army might, not at the non-violent and peaceful method. He was like that was the approach of Subhash Chandra Bose. So Subhash Chandra Bose began radio broadcast from Berlin at this time, 1942. Similar time, Azad Hind Fauj was own national army was formed by Captain Mohan Singh. Okay, in the same time, here in India, post India movement was being done. Then next viceroy is coming. Bevel is the next viceroy. Okay, in 1943, Azad fought in the Fauj. Leadership was given to Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, and Subhash Chandra Bose, one important sentence is there: "You give me blood, and I will give you freedom." Okay, and one another slogan, that is Delhi Chalo. It was the slogan given. Okay, but that was Delhi Chalo, the hunger strike and the freedom of speech, individual satyagraha, that Delhi Chalo. This is Delhi Chalo. Okay, so that we have to understand. Now, okay, sorry. Okay, now in 1944, at that time, all the at about that time, the war was coming to an end again also. So different formulas were being given, because British is now going to quit because about the impact of Quit India movement. The Subhash Chandra Bose, different things Subhash Chandra Bose is going to do, and finally British is now going to quit, starting to quit India. And but now the problem is, there is no understanding between Muslim League and Congress till now. So there need to be some or the other things to be done, formulas to be devised, and now onwards we will start seeing of different formulas. One is CR formula, or C Rajagopalachari formula, or Rajaji formula, that was proposed in 1944. So what it told was, a referendum to be conducted in Muslim majority areas. Okay, in case of agreement to not partition, okay, we will not partition. In case of partition, joint agreements to be made. Okay, safeguarding defense, communication, and commerce. Gandhi and Jinnah talks based on Rajaji formula, but Jinnah need only Muslim population in those areas to vote in the plebiscite or referendum. So, and Sikhs also, because Sikhs also had a negative reaction, because division of Punjab can happen if this type of division or this type of polling or this type of referendum was conducted, and hence it failed. Then the next year, 1945, Desai-Liaquat Pact started. Okay, this was done by, one is Phulabhai Desai, leader of the Congress party in Central Legislative Assembly, and Liaquat Ali Khan, who was the deputy leader of Muslim League at that time. And important thing is, draft proposals for formation of interim government at the center was proposed. How the interim government to be formed at the center at the time of British were exiting. Okay, that was what the thing is, and the 2 points were two very small points. It's equal number of persons nominated by Congress and League to be appointed in central legislature, that is interim government, interim central legislature. Equal number of persons from Congress also, Muslim League also. Finally, 20% reserved seats for all minorities. 20% reserved seats for all minorities. Then Muslims equal seats, and from Congress also equal seats. No settlement. Again, it was also not settled. Okay. At the same time, again, we are going back to 1944. The Rajagopalachari formula. At that time, what was happening was, campaigns of international army was acting. That international army headquarters shifted from Singapore to Burma. Japan army and international army left Rangoon. Okay, Japan army, and with a collaboration only they were fighting. And actually, international army, what Subhash Chandra Bose did was, Japan was fighting Britishers in Indian frontier. They were participating against the British, and they have many British soldiers, Indian soldiers, who were fighting on behalf of Britain. They were captured and prisoners of war as prisoners of war. And what Subhash Chandra Bose did was, these prisoners of war, he took them, trained them, and made them into army, and they want to conquer India and want to get independence of India. Okay, not to be given, they want to get it by different means, like war, like that means, military means. Okay, Japan army and international army left Rangoon. Then Kohima, it was a success, they conquered, but in fact it was unsuccessful. Okay, that we must understand. Now In 1945, what happened? At the same time, Hitler constructs suicide. Rangoon was won by British. Rangoon, actually, we study here that here Kohima success, Imphal was unsuccessful. Here Rangoon was won by British. International Army officers surrendered at Burma. Finally, Hiroshima Nagasaki bombing also was done here. Death of Subhash Chandra Bose all happened in 1945. At the time when the Liaquat-Desai Pact was working out or acting in the mainstream. Finally, in June 1945, the Wavell itself came with a plan, that is Wavell Plan, and it was presented at a Simla conference. That was also in 1945. So 1944, one pact, 1945, two pacts. One is Liaquat-Desai Pact, and Wavell Plan also was here at the Shimla conference, which is also happened in 1945. Okay, in this the proposals were some important proposals were Viceroy's Executive Council, all Indian members except Viceroy and Commander-in-Chief. Viceroy and Commander-in-Chief will only be in the Viceroy Executive Council who were not Indian, all other will be Indian. The council to have a balanced representation of all Indians including caste, Hindu, Muslims, depressed class 6, etc. Muslims will be given 6 out of 40 members will be given Muslims, okay, more than their share, that is 25% they were given. Out of 40 members, 6 will be Muslims. That was told in the Executive Council. Okay, then Viceroy or Governor General would still have the power of veto, but its use will be very, very minimal. Jinnah said members of Muslim community should only be from Muslim League. That was his another deal. That again, Muslims out of the 40 members, 6 will be Muslim members, and all these 6 should be from Muslim League. That was what Jinnah wanted. But again, Indian National Congress also has other Muslims, okay, that we must understand here. Then League wanted the power of veto to any constitutional proposed which is it believed not in its interest. That is, League wanted the power of veto in any constitutional proposal is coming. League needed its veto. Okay, if we think the amendment or the constitutional proposal is not in their under the League's interest. Okay, finally Congress opposed this unreasonable demand also, and this also Congress opposed. Now at the same time, again in 1945, what happened in the case of International Congress? We are going back to an International Congress. International Congress trials was began, okay, to punish them, the members who participated. 1945 November, and INA trials was done. Vallabhbhai Desai was a lawyer who appeared for National Army. Okay, then verdict was given in 1st January 1946. Okay, imprisonment for varying terms were given. Again 1946, that is imprisonment for varying terms were given for the different soldiers who were seen as culprits by the Britishers. Okay, in 1946 verdict. Then 1946 another thing happened, that is Royal Indian Navy mutiny started. That is HMIS Talwar in HMIS Talwar, the mutiny started. The reason for the Royal Indian Navy's mutiny was discrimination, living conditions mainly influenced by the National Army. It was mainly influenced by the National Army. Air Force strike also was supported the Royal Indian Navy's mutiny. Government reaction was British PM Attlee ordered to suppress the mutiny. Bomb attack was done on Hindustan ship. Soldiers surrendered. But at the same time, Indian leaders were on the sides of the Navy people. Okay. Finally, in the July 1946, 9 direct action was suggested. In 1947, Declaration of Independence by Clement Attlee. In 36, that is 3rd June 1947, June 3 plan or Mountbatten plan was done. That is to partition of India via the Red Cliff line. Okay. Finally, in 14th of August 1947, Pakistan became independent, and first Prime Minister was Liaquat Ali Khan. That we must understand. Okay, 14th of August 1947, Pakistan became independent, and finally in 15th of 15th of August 1947, India also became independent. First Prime Minister was Jawaharlal Nehru. So hence, we have completed this series. Okay, we have done maximum content in limited amount of time. Okay, I have not covered 100% of the things. I covered about 80%, 80 to 90% of things, I think so. Okay, so just keep on revising it, keep on understanding it. Okay, now different things like newspapers, then some what we must say, revolutionary movements. Okay, not revolutionary movements, that reformist movement, no, not revolutionary, reformist movement, etc. We have to study that. I will be providing in another video only. Okay, so it is an end of our course, that is modern Indian history. I will also upload the next 1 or 2 videos also. Okay, so we'll see soon with another lecture, and just like it, comment it, share with your friends. Okay, so happy to finish this series. Okay, so just revise it, keep on revising it, and all the best for everybody who's watching this video, and thanks a lot for seeing this video. Then do have the mind to communicate to me any suggestions, corrections, etc., so that I can do it in the upcoming videos. So take care all, love you all, thank you.